How you doing tonight? Here we are on another edition of Waiting for Anything MLB 26 related. This is really something that has, I like forgot this website existed. It's probably been 6 years. I think it was 2020 the last time I went on this website. Since MLB 25 is more dead than Lassie at this point, it's time to do something that isn't really anything related to that game, or at least like maybe a small percentage of it. Here we have a list of every single MLB The Show game that's ever released, and it really is every one. It's interesting because, or is it? And this is not going to be just some type of corrupted list where it's only based on like one thing. This is going to be based on the entire game, like everything. How visuals, crowd animations, if vendors work, and everything related to it, because you can't just narrow it down to Diamond Dynasty. That's not fair. So we're going to look at the entire game, and we're going to go into this, and it's not going to be biased. It's not going to be anything related to I'm picking favorites, and I'm just going into it and picking worse ones because that's how I feel. We're going to look at it in a way that isn't just stupid and maybe an opinion that is very, very heavily popular. Or I don't get this. I don't understand how tier maker goes from red to green, because usually is there ever a situation in life where red indicates something better than green? So I'm just going to leave it that. I don't know if you can change the color of them or anything like that, but I'm just going to leave it the same. I change these to what I want them to be. The top tier is GOAT. I don't think I need to explain. The second one is very good, as in the game is very, very good. The middle one, whatever the third one is, it's okay, I guess. So that, you know, you might buy it, you might play it for a bit, and then you might give up on it like halfway through the summer or something like that because you got bored of it or something. The fourth one is bad. Just bad. It's not a good game. Probably would not buy it. Maybe you would consider it. Maybe. And if you did buy it, you gave up on it in the first month. And green bin is just like you walk home and basically you already know that it's going to be terrible. There's been those games where you know it's going to be bad before it comes out. At least I've had that thought. But let's get this going here, because this is probably taking a lot longer than it should, but we have every game listed in order. This is not going to be randomized. This is in order. And we have MLB 06, the show. David Ortiz on the cover. This was a really good game. I would put this in the very good category. For PlayStation 2 purposes, this was probably one of the best graphical looking games at the time. That's not a lie. This, I think I said it like a couple of videos ago, this San Andreas and 24 the game might have the best graphics on PlayStation 2. There might be another one I'm forgetting. MLB 07 The Show is actually one of the first games I got on PlayStation 3. I honestly really like this game too. I can't say I played franchise a lot, very much a lot. When this game came out, it was very good. The gameplay, first one on the 7th generation. First one on PlayStation 3, I remember it was, I liked it. I remember seeing at one point in time, 07 was not very liked or something, but I liked it a lot. I thought the graphics made a really large improvement if they could, because, you know, it's the first one on the new generation of systems at the time. Franchise was still very good. Every gameplay was fun. MLB, there's probably like 3 games on this list that I've played all of them, I think, at this point in time in my life, but there was some that I just really didn't play that much. I think I honestly played 08 The Show around, I should have probably made another list or another tier. Can I do that now? How do you do that? It says delete. No, wait, hold on. Clear row, add a row below. Here we go. We're gonna put, I don't know. I have no idea is going to be the name, because I have played it, but it hasn't been basically, oh shit. No, that's not what I wanted to do. This one still has to be, or wait, no, make that one the I have no, or is that what it was? This one, I have no idea, and then this one can be like the worst. How's that sound? How do you make it a different color? Green bin, it's going to be the color blue though. So blue bin, garbage bin. I'm going to put 08 and I have no idea, because just for the small amount of time, I think the first time I played this game may have been a couple of months ago. It was very similar to 07, I think. I think. Really, at this point in time, it was just about like if franchise and gameplay features were getting better too, which was a big thing. They would say things that were important, like we're updating crowd animations, man. Animations and like things they would never do now, like environment things and stuff. Like the stadiums look more realistic. Anyway, 09, I think, is the same thing. I didn't play this game that much, so I'm not gonna act like I did or something, but it's just whatever. MLB 10 The Show. I have played this a little bit. I think I have a good understanding of this game. Although Joe Mauer's on 2 of the covers, I forget which one I liked more. I think this one was no, it wasn't 10. 10, I think 10 was very good. This one I think is actually technically the highest rated one user-wise on Metacritic. Before I forget to say this, I was looking at this actually not that long ago to see, just for my own reasons. MLB 21, I think, has like one of, if not the lowest user score on Metacritic. MLB 11, The Show, is incredible. It is. The graphics for PlayStation 3 around this time was insane. Really good game MLB 11 was. I don't know if Diamond Dynasty was probably around this time, but I didn't play Diamond Dynasty for at least a couple years after this. But I remember this game, and the gameplay was incredible. The graphics were amazing. Everything involved in it was a very good baseball game, and I miss this generation because this is really when MLB The Show MLB The Show shined. MLB 12 The Show is actually a very good game too. I would honestly, you know what? I might put that in the top 2. I'm serious. I think this is really when it made me feel like it couldn't get any better. This like 3-year span, 11, 12, and I'm gonna put 13 there now because the hell with it. MLB 14 The Show is actually, you know what? I don't know if I've played that one much either. I'm gonna put this in the I don't know category because I have played it before, but it's not one that I heavily know much about, and it's not fair to make sure that, or what, to make up things that aren't true or anything. I'm just gonna put it there. Major League Baseball 15 The Show. This was actually the first one I played Diamond Dynasty in, I think. Maybe? I don't know. I played Road to the Show a lot in 15, and I would honestly say that, hold on a second. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. You know, I'm going to put it there just because this is probably, you know, you have to really make up in your mind what's going on, right? Like, you can't go into it. You know what? No. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put it in. I want to order this too. I want to make so like everything that's in the tier list, it's in order from first to last. That's probably all right. I really liked 15. I played Road to the Show. I think I said that, but Diamond Dynasty, if I played, it was very, very little. This is really when I got into Diamond Dynasty. MLB 16 The Show is easily in one of the best. You know, I might change this around. I don't want to, you have to really take into consideration like what GOAT means, right? Like there can't be that many. There just simply cannot be that many in GOAT. 12 and 13, what's happening? 12 and 13 ahead of 15 maybe, and then maybe even those ahead of, you know, I'm going to put 07 ahead of that. I really liked 07. MLB, I know I just said what I said, but MLB 17 deserves to be in the GOAT category too. There was not 2 games in MLB The Show's existence, and I don't think they're ever going to be able to go back to what they had at one point. MLB 16 and 17 had the best Diamond Dynasty modes in terms of gameplay and everything like that. I think that there was certain things in these games that were so damn good that even if gameplay wasn't the greatest, you could probably cancel those out and you'd still have an insanely good game. Diamond Dynasty was so good that I would be willing, I might be like disregarding everything I said at the beginning of this, but one specific mode and just maybe even visuals, because I swear to Christ, I think 16 and 17 visuals, even 17 more so, could probably even be better than some of the games that were released on PS5, and I will die on that hill. All right, it's probably time to move on. I don't want to keep going on about it. Those games were just incredible, so I don't want to keep going on about how they're very good. MLB 18 is very interesting. MLB what am I talking about? MLB 18 is, I'm going to put in bad. I'm not going to put it in the green bin because you know what? I think that there were certain things in this game that were terrible, like Diamond Dynasty. But yeah, and gameplay, actually, that was very bad that year. I think that they should deserve a little bit of credit. Hear me out a second, because that was the first year they got Babe Ruth in the game. If you think about it, that's a big deal. They got Vladdy Sr. back in the game. I think that was the first year he was considered a legend. Immortals were a bad idea. They didn't really make any... They could have been a good idea if they kind of like released more things, but just for the entirety of the game, it was really not that good of a game. But you have to give them some credit for being able to get Babe Ruth in the game. That was huge. So I'm going to put it in bad just because they did one thing that was okay. MLB 19, I would, you know what? I would say it was okay. I think at the time it was considered incredible because after 18, anything would have been good. In terms of an overall game, I wouldn't say that 19 is something that should be considered elite. It was a good game. You'd go to the store, you'd buy it, you'd be happy and satisfied with how it was, but I don't know if it was really fair. If 19 came out after like 21, it probably would have been a bad game. If it came out after 17, if 19 and 18 flipped, I think 19 would be considered not that good either because it's no way in hell better than 16 and 17. MLB 20 is actually very good, and I didn't give it the respect it probably deserved when it came out. I'm going to put this maybe towards the top because I think this game was really damn good. I wouldn't put it ahead of 06 and 07 maybe, but in terms of Diamond Dynasty, that was when I think that was when perfect became a thing, because if it wasn't, then this is kind of making no sense. This game was hard. I remember it was very difficult, which is not a bad thing, but it was something that Diamond Dynasty was very good. The gameplay I remember was, I think fielding was very, very kind of questionable. Now I'm reconsidering my pick. God, it's hard when it's like Diamond Dynasty was incredible. Maybe the gameplay wasn't so good. That's kind of what 20 was. Diamond Dynasty as a game mode was amazing, but maybe the gameplay, I remember fielding was awful. I don't remember hitting being like dog shit or something. It probably wasn't the best. What game on this list was hitting incredible? Now I'm starting to think there's too many and very good. Or I guess these are kind of older, so it does make sense. All right, the hell with it. We're going to leave it there. MLB 21, man, Jesus Christ, this is hard. I may have to make a tough decision. I may have to either move 16 or 17 down, pick one, or just maybe go 21 is in very good. I honestly think, you know, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here, and I think it's in a good spot right now because it is behind 16 and 17, and 21, again, maybe shock the earth. They may have actually done something they're never going to do again. They had a really good Diamond Dynasty mode going into like a new generation. They was on Xbox for the first time. Servers were amazing, I think. Like, you know how when you open up packs and everything, now it's like slow and stuttery and it makes you almost want to jump out your window? It seemed like in 21, everything server related, if I'm remembering the right game, everything related to it was very good, and it didn't seem like really anything in terms of gameplay that was that terrible. I always have different opinions on if like certain things are terrible or not. Like when people say that it's like lineouts and everything, or like that, yes, that can be an issue, but I personally wouldn't consider that to be like some game breaking thing where it makes me like not want to play the game. So I think 21 deserves to be in GOAT. I think 22 belongs in the garbage disposal. Did I say 22? 22 is one of the worst games ever released. Almost maybe the same as 20. It was like a DLC of MLB 21 and maybe just a little bit worse. They just changed like the menu colors. Also is annoying that Ohtani's on the cover. I think that 23 deserves to be in a category that might not be, you really look back, think to yourself, okay, like, well, what are we doing here? 23 had, you have to give them a little bit of credit. They went to a new type of model. They went to a new thing that was, or what was it called? Sets. Sets were in the game. They could have been a lot better. If they made it so sets didn't make any damn sense and they like got worse from season to season from like random times in the year, they could have probably made this game incredible. I remember hitting was very fun this year. Gameplay as a whole was kind of very fun from what I remember. I don't know if like fielding things were a problem, but I think 23 is actually not that bad of a game. It's just that they kind of fumbled on Diamond Dynasty as like the structure. If they got the structure right of the actual game mode, I think that it could have been very, very good. I think that 24 deserves to be in the green bin as well. I think it's not as bad as 22, or maybe, you know what? It is. I think 24 may have been one of their worst games. And it's very unfortunate and it makes me very, very depressed because Vladdy Jr. is on the cover. It was maybe like a week before the game actually released that they started marketing for it. I swear to Christ, that's what happened. I didn't know anything about this game going into it. They waited so long to like release everything and you went into the game and you almost knew it was going to be bad. 24 was an absolute abomination, and I'm sad that they had to actually put the greatest player of all time on the cover for when it was this bad. I don't know if I'll ever forgive them for that, actually. MLB 25 is what we have currently, and you know what? I don't know. This is interesting. What do we have this year? This was like, well, they went back to like kind of the older type of structure. I've never said that word so many times in my life, but they went back to something that wasn't sets and seasons. So I guess you have to maybe give them a little bit of credit. Gameplay, I guess, wasn't that dog shit. They came out with Weekend Classic. I don't think this game was like terrible. I think it was kind of fun at times. I think content wasn't the greatest ever. I think it may not have been, you know what I'm forgetting? Crowd animations. I don't know if there was ever a year that made me really think that they really need to improve that than this year. I don't know if that's something I just never really realized at one point for the last couple of seasons, but if you really look into it, it's kind of embarrassing. We are almost at the point where PlayStation 6 is being brought up quite often, and we have a video game where like the crowd looks like it's PlayStation 2 era. This is the final list of MLB The Show games, and I don't know if I'd change anything. These two are definitely the worst. I think 18 maybe you could maybe give a little bit of credit to just for reasons like adding legends to it. Some games may have been better than what they may have initially been thought they were, like 23. And I think that some games you might not even know about being as good, like around the PlayStation 3 era. I'm telling you right now, if you want to go back and play something that's like an MLB game that's really fun just because gameplay is really good and the game looks amazing, please play a PlayStation 3 era MLB The Show game from like 10 to 13. Or goddamn it, you know what? You know what 17 really didn't have? I think 16 maybe even the same. Servers were terrible. That's kind of making me think something here.